Ever wanted to know what happens in the time of the end? Hi, my name is Esteban Hidalgo, and I'm going to share with you just one prophecy of what will happen in the time of the end. And this is found in the book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 6 and 7. Let's read together.
And it reads, "And I saw another angel flying in mid-heaven, having an eternal gospel to preach to those who live on the earth, to every nation and tribe and tongue and people." This is a global message. Every nation, tribe, tongue, and people. And he said with a loud voice, "Fear God and give him glory, because the hour of his judgment has come. Worship him who made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and the springs of water." This is the first angel of three that follows. Here's the first one, and another angel, a second one in verse 8, and a third one in verse 9. After these three angels preach the gospel, then we see the coming of the Son of Man. Jesus himself, the second coming of Jesus, comes after the three angels proclaim the eternal gospel to every nation, tribe, tongue, and people.
An angel. An angel in Bible prophecy could be many different things. But in this case, the word angel from the Greek angelos means a messenger, or even the message that the messenger bears. So this is really a message. It is preached not by literal flying creatures that God has created, but by human beings. Jesus has commissioned the everlasting gospel to human beings. So this last day prophecy is being fulfilled in your very eyes. You see, here at Seventh-day Adventist Church in Edinburgh, we are committed to proclaiming this very same message. The angel says, "Fear God, give him glory, because the hour of judgment has come, and worship him." And he proclaims it to the whole world. So this is a global message that here we are committed to preach. Therefore, if you want to know what's happening in prophecy, how it's being fulfilled, come to the Seventh-day Adventist Church here in Edinburgh and see fulfillment of prophecy in your very eyes. Come, I want to show you something else. Thank you for coming. This is the sanctuary where we worship. And right now, you may notice that the pews are empty, but every seventh day, this place becomes teeming with life. Not only because it gets filled with little children, with young adults, youth, and lots of people from all over the world, but because the very Spirit of God dwells here and abides with us and moves with us freely. If you look around, you'll notice that there are many flags of different countries, and it represents the diverse nationality that composes this community of believers under God. And the reality is that with such a diverse community of believers here at Edinburgh, you can tell that we are committed to proclaiming the gospel to the entire world, not just to one region specifically. In fact, this church is located at the crossroads of the United States and Latin America, being in Edinburgh, Texas, which is close to the border of the United States and Mexico. And we want to do something not just for this community, it is local community, but for the world. Because that's what the prophecy said to do in the first place. So because of that, there's lots of ministries that are dedicated to this proclamation. There's youth ministries, there's young adult ministries, there's singles ministries, there's family ministries, there's men's ministries, there's women's ministries, there's children's ministries. There are so many ministries. And therefore, since we are a growing congregation, sometimes we don't even fit here. We've decided it's time to expand. And seeking God's guidance, we're looking forward to building a building that will glorify God, a building that will call people to fear God, a building where we can come together and worship him who made heaven and earth and the seas and the springs of water, just as the prophecy says. I want to show you that building at this time. Let's go outside and see what God is doing. Here we are outside our church property. Behind us is the sanctuary where we just came from. And towards the left is really the multi-purpose building that we've been talking about. This is our vision come to reality. God has allowed us to begin building this. And through many different problems, it hasn't been completely constructed yet. But we're raising enough funds to do that right now. And God is the one providing for the funds. Now, what are we thinking of doing here? Well, this is a community center. This is a place where we'll have plenty of room to have worship services, recreational activities, fitness facilities. There's a large kitchen to have our fellowship meals, banquets, and even start a restaurant or a bakery for the community to promote good health. This is a place where we can have young people, youth rallies come from all over the valley and from different parts of the country to meet together, to worship together, to know each other. And there's plenty of space there also to provide God to do his endless activities of fulfilling the prophecy that we've been talking about. Now I want to share with you a little bit more, but first we must go inside and see for ourselves what is happening. Let's go inside. Mind you, they're working right now, so you might see a lot of activity. Inside, we'll notice that there are several rooms. On my left-hand side is the kitchen, which is rather large enough to host double ovens and many different professional equipment, even to have a good working solid industrial kitchen. On the right-hand side, this is a place for an office that we can have for our different ministries. And as we move forward, we'll enter into the main hall. The main hall of the recreational has space enough to have two basketball courts side by side, and in the back there will be a stage rising up high so that this place would have ability to host a worship service, seminars, community centers for different activities. And on either lateral corners of the building there is the doors to the end is the boys' bathroom, and on the other side is the women's bathroom, and they both will have showers available, as well as the regular things a bathroom should have. And then my favorite part is actually on the top in the balcony. You know, this is an open space at this time, but I envision there several different rooms, perhaps classrooms for training centers and schools of evangelism. Right here at Edinburgh, we can have a school of evangelism where we can train young people to use their skills and talents for the glory of God. One of those talents would be to having a media center here, a center where we can distribute the gospel to the whole world through the internet. And just as you're seeing this message right now through the internet, we believe that we can continue to fulfill the gospel that we've been talking about in a media center, and also using the facilities that this well-equipped building will have. Buildings. There are so many buildings in the Rio Grande Valley. Buildings. Why buildings? Buildings are only a reflection of what the vision is. You see, there are some buildings that are hospitals, and that is for curing people. There are buildings that are to provide for the needs of community, groceries and different businesses that are very important for our society. But then there are other kinds of buildings. Buildings that are made at the expense of the vices and of the evil inclinations of people, enslaves them, and then takes profit from them. We're talking about buildings like nightclubs and gentlemen's clubs, bars. These really break the moral fabrics of our society. But here at the Edinburgh Seventh-day Adventist Church, we see a different vision. A vision of proclaiming the everlasting gospel in the context of the three angels' messages, to take it to the whole world. And because we have a different vision, we have a different kind of building. A building for the glory of God. We want to be able to finish this building, and if it's in your heart to support a vision that has been prophesied and will happen these last days of Earth's history, then consider making a contribution to the Edinburgh Seventh-day Adventist Church Building Fund and be part of the vision. You see, buildings only reflect the vision, and the vision is what God has revealed to us.